Hello, creative friends. I'm Kathleen from Creative Solace Studios. This is my cornucopia of gratitude themed junk journal madness guest collaboration with Susan of I Turtly Love It. She's the host of this series, and I'm this month's guest collaborator. The theme is Cornucopia of Gratitude, where our journal, our junk journal, is our container of things that we're grateful for. That's the theme that will be on the pages. In my first video, and check out Susan's videos as well at I Turtly Love It. My first video, I brainstormed about what Cornucopia of Gratitude meant to me and how it could be interpreted in a journal. In the second video, I made 2 super easy mini booklets and one main junk journal. Today, we're going to add more things into this junk journal, including the first 2 booklets. Susan has provided us a list of different things that we can make for our junk journals. I'll be counting mine and letting you know the count to them later, but for now, this is a booklet that's getting glued in as a tip in. A tip in to any journal is when you already have the pages of the journal made and you want to add something into it as if it was a page. So this entire booklet here will become a page. Where should we put it? I'm thinking this would be pretty here. So I had this little V-shaped fold. I glued part of it onto here, and the back of it will be onto that page, so it will open up like a page of the journal itself. It's raining glue. Thanks for following us on Instagram and tagging us with JJ Madness, stands for Junk Journal Madness, to let us know your creations. And check out Susan's videos for her other months as well, where there's a different theme for each month and a different guest collaborator for each month. So now this booklet is tipped into the book and will fold open. With each page ready for some gratitude. The other booklet that I made in the last video, I'm just going to put it as a reminder. I don't want this color right next to this, so I'll move farther along into the journal and I'll slip it inside this envelope for further consideration later. In my last video, I also had this part of this junk mail envelope cut off. I think I will use it in the beginning of this journal. Oftentimes in the beginning or the end of a journal, I enjoy describing what the project was in the beginning and doing a reflection on it at the end. So this mini envelope pocket perhaps will have something of that nature describing the entire project, but it's going over this fold. So do we want it that way? This way? That's kind of nice with this up here. I might end up putting my name right on there for the introduction. So I'll glue it onto this page. Then later I'll decide what will be going inside of there. I'll just leave that there as a reminder. Now there's something that's not quite laying flat on these pages. I'm going to do a quick check through on them. I considered gluing in the spine, and I chose to leave it open and not glued down so it would have more movement and I could let the pages bloom more. But it also means that it's not as steady or stable. This page right here seems to be the issue. I will remember that I need to glue something over there, or should we do it right now? Let's see. Let's try gluing this on as reinforcement and seeing if that helps with stability. If nothing else, it'll just be a nice colorful scrapbook paper that is on this page to start off something else on this page. I think that will help somewhat, but I might end up doing some more like that as well. What else shall we do? This clear covering was an envelope in that last video that covered this acetate scrapbook page when I bought it, and it just looked interesting to save. I like the patterns on here too, so I think I will glue this on here, but I'm thinking this one, because it has a fold there, could use some reinforcement. Oh, maybe I should glue it over the fold. What do you think about that? That might hold it down a bit more. One moment. Here's some of the same paper that was used previously. I'll give this a try. I might have to put a little glue inside the spine there later to make this more sturdy, but for now I'm going to give this a try. Then back to this plastic envelope. It opens on this side of it, so I will be able to tuck some kind of a tag in there. That's just kind of fun to be able to see through that. I don't know, would you call it a clear pocket, a plastic pocket, a window pocket where the entire pocket is a window? There it is. What's next? One of my goals for this project was to go through Susan's items to make. You can get these handouts in the description of her videos and learn the vocabulary words for some things that I've been making but didn't know exactly what they were. I am going to take this big strip of brown paper bag and make a tuck spot with it. Now previously I was just calling anything that wasn't a pocket, that wasn't completely glued down like a pocket with two sides to it, I was calling it a tuck spot, anything that was kind of flapping up a little bit. So taking a look at Susan's list, I have learned the difference between side tuck and corner tuck. So let's make a side tuck here, which I usually haven't done before because I worry about things falling out. But I want to try it. I'm open to trying new things, and I am putting glue on only one side of this paper, gluing it down on one of my pages, and then I'm going to be able to tuck something inside of it. I just so happen to have this nice multi-pocket item with many different places where you can put tags that I made when I was watching Trisha's video. Trisha's from Crafting Whimsy. Check out her YouTube channel as well. And I was really excited to see her making this kind of a pocket. And she had some nice way of decorating on the triangles with some papers that fit really nice. Check out her video. I was excited to see that and what she did with this pocket because I've been working on another project where I make these kind of pockets out of origami paper. So this one I made with something I got from a thrift store. It is music paper, and somebody else had already written a song on there. So will this fit in here, and will it stay? That is the question. It's awfully heavy. I'm thinking, yep, it's gonna slide out. So I have a couple options. I could not use it and use something else to tuck inside of there. I could use it, but also secure it with a paper clip, or I think what I'm gonna do is what I usually end up doing with tuck spots is making it a corner tuck where I have glued two sides of it, so this corner of the brown paper is entirely glued down, so it is a little bit more pocket-like. Apparently, if I glue this third side up here, then it becomes a pocket. But because that third side is open, my understanding is that it's defined as a tuck spot, which is a corner tuck. Let's test it out. It stays. If it's too heavy, I can always slip a paper clip on here, and if it is too heavy for that spine, I am still considering gluing some of that spine together, but let's play along and see what happens. A friend of mine gave me some vintage cookbooks, so I'd like to take a look through. I'm wondering if this size is probably the size that's going to work. And oh, look at these fun orange cream sherbet, tomato jelly, chicken mousse. Not quite sure about those recipes, but they sure are interesting. Oh, Thanksgiving pudding. I didn't know that was in here. Christmas plum pudding and Thanksgiving pudding. So let's take out a couple pages here, just tearing them out. And I want to try to see those words, Thanksgiving pudding. I'm going to make some, here we go. So I have the second paper down a little bit from the first, and I'm folding these over, but I'm adjusting it. I want to have 4 little pocket spaces that I'll have on here, like tiers. Now, where would be a good spot for this? I think this is the best spot for it, and I am going to trim some off the edge. I'll use some pretty green masking tape, which is not archival, but I still like it, and I'm going to choose to use it on the sides of this. I'll put the masking tape facing up. You could use washi tape, and sometimes I find that washi tape isn't sticky enough and it's easily comes off. So sometimes I do use glue with washi tape also. Putting it about halfway onto the tape. And folding the tape over. Now when I make a pocket in here, something's not going to slide out of the edges. So I took a quick break and did a quick assessment because there's a couple things that I wasn't satisfied with. This is definitely too heavy to stay in there. Yes, I could put a paper clip on it, but it's heavy paper. So I'm going to switch it over into that envelope. Then the other thing I'm not happy about is the spine. So I want to glue down inside the first fold of the spine, which means I could rip it off and try to glue it down, or I could try to stick glue inside of there. Well, ripping it off, I could reconstruct it, but let's see, can I reach in there? Sorry for this crazy technique. This is real life. This is journal making as it happens. Live and learn, right? That's what the inside looks like. I'm getting glue inside of that first fold. And a little extra from this side. If it doesn't work, I can always take it apart and redo that first accordion, but it's too loose, needs to be anchored down to secure the pages of the book. So it's just this fold that I put the glue under. I'll hold that a minute, and while that is just setting a little bit, I'll tell you what's next. So what I have next planned is starting into the mixed media part of this journal. I mentioned in my first video or second video that mixed media journals can either, the mixed media part can happen before you assemble the journal or after, or both. Well, I can't stay away from paint too much longer. I'm ready to get to it. So I've got some greens, yellow, and gold. I also have some handy clamps to keep pages open so they don't fold over on each other while things are drying. So join me in the next video in this series for Junk Journal Madness. The related videos will be linked in the description of this video, including host Susan of I Turtly Love It and Trish from Crafting Whimsy's video for the pocket directions. Check them out, follow us on social media, leave comments, and let me know what you would do with this paint that I'm preparing right now. See you in the next video.